Alrighty then. Hi guys. I don't know if you can hear me. There we go. Hey you guys, it's Gigi with Invite the Light coming to you with yet another reading. And so I really wanted to do this one, of course, on William and Kate, really figuring out where they are. So give me 2 minutes while I really focus on this, even though my kids are already like, we're popping out. Whew, my goodness, a lot going on here. Really wanted a little more time to concentrate, but the cards are like, sorry. Let me try to do that. There we are. This is a pain in the ass. Okay. So, I think a queen actually is really beginning to start to close down like her time. As well. I think because she's lost some trust in the family members as well. I think there's a little more distance than just, Harry having gone off. And there's this other thing, because Harry actually has left, she realizes like the PR behind it. And she realizes, his impact and things like that. And I just really think how she's looking at it is like the end of really like a royal family as one would know it. And then she's really kind of the last monarch, so to speak. It's not that there won't be another monarch, but it just won't be the same. And I wouldn't be surprised that if once William started ruling or whatever, that they probably would, I don't know, England would probably want to start calling more for them to just kind of phase out their duties and just phase into regular life. Every one of them, like, just relinquish, and then you could just be part of aristocracy or whatever, live a separate life. I think that William's basically been on his own with a lot of issues recently. I think he's a lot more upset over Harry than one would think. I think he just really doesn't know what to do. And he's like authentically upset. But there's like some kind of entitlement that he always had kind of over Harry. And so there's a lot to deal with here. And I really think that I've said this before, I'll say it again, that he kind of leaned on Harry, and entitled himself to certain things that Harry did. And, now Harry is gone. And I feel like there have been some messages that William has tried to maybe send, even though, and it's like this communication of entitlement, like an older brother, like, but I mean, bro, you guys are grown now, so just don't expect, a man who's having a wife now and a whole new life, and especially a baby, a man who's really trying to come in his own way. Harry has really authentically been trying to do, and you can't be like just kind of speaking to him and expecting, speaking to him like in an authoritarian kind of tone of voice, and all these things, one man to another, one grown man to another, and then it really expecting him to fall in line. He's really has another um he really has another purpose. He really has as a person who's forming themselves into a father of someone who's going to teach them about leadership, who's going to teach them about the royal throne, but he cannot be subservient. There's a difference. So he can serve the crown, but he will not be subservient to his brother. Okay. So that's something where William, I think went really wrong and expected that Harry was going to really kind of cave and just fall in line like old times. But this is like Harry is like Harry is very stubborn, at the same time, he's very stubborn. So, I mean, I'm not sure why they don't realize this. And I think a queen looks at it like it's when William takes over, she is, I mean, no disrespect. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Diane. I feel like she's kind of looking in on this reading, but hates when I talk about William. Meanwhile, it's like Kate, on the other hand, like she's still very upset with William, but she's also just kind of focused on really becoming queen. Um, there's a real ridiculousness here that I don't want to. I think again too, there's like kind of like entitlement on her side. Like she's just, I've put in the time, I've done this. I mean, she hasn't, according to cards and stuff like that, she hasn't done like blood, sweat, and tears. It's not like you fought for the throne, hun. I mean, it's not like eh, you know, went to battle or whatever. Like, she did come in and she feels that she's done what she was told, and now, she wants what's hers, or she really wants to be queen. So I don't know what this is. I'm going to check that out in a minute. But I do feel like the queen is like, oh, actually, there are little signs, and there may be some signs like in the queen's health, but I don't think there's signs like in her health other than her just like being tired, maybe like wanting to sit down a little bit more, a little faster than usual, and stuff like that. There's certain things that people notice a change in her. And there's this conversation about maybe suggesting that she sit down, but because of where William and William and Kate don't understand that they actually failed this test in front of the queen, the way they handle stuff with Harry and Meghan, you know? Um, and it is the queen also who really does not, she's expanding her time on the throne. Otherwise, she really would have given it over to Charles. But Charles really doesn't want to, Charles just wants to turn it over to William, basically. But she's expanding her time. And I guess she also looks at this as like, okay, look, you're having a disagreement with your brother. The disagreement is freaking first world problems. Yeah, problems. And you can't even handle that. Like, you're all thrown off over that. Like, really get over it. I've been through wars. I've been through the Nazis. I've been, like, for real, for real. She's been through real shit in the country. Real stuff. Like, also, like, the way this virus is going on, I don't know why, but she's been through one or two of those as well. She's been through real shit, and she's just kind of looking at William and Kate like, man, these two, this like cupcake energy. Like, she really does not want to leave this throne to them. Like, for real. If she could not do it, if she could, not do it, she would. So, meanwhile, I feel like actually with Meghan showing up here, she's kind of missing Meghan, but her hands are tied about communicating with Meghan, because she felt like even with Meghan around, Meghan's like a good person to and this is the way she shows up, haters. You always want to hate on her and stuff like that. The girl could have the nicest dress, look clean and everything. You'd be like, oh my god, she's so trashy. She's so, you love making up stuff that doesn't even exist about the girl. So she is showing up here as the Queen of Wands. This is her card. Um, this is the first time, actually, too, I want to talk about that the Queen has shown up as a feminine and not the Emperor. She's showing up as the Empress. So for me as well, she's sort of stepped back herself, kind of energetically, and she's more in the feminine than in the masculine. She's not, she's a little more tired, and I think she was sort of psychologically getting that because with Meghan and Harry and the Fab Four, like them together would have been able to steer the ship properly. But honestly, with William and Kate on their own and the way that they handled this and the way that they allowed it to get out of the press, them not speaking to Harry and Meghan and putting on some kind of discussion, you never do that. And that they did show that showed great weakness and um not not necessarily ignorance, but incompetence is what she's saying. I'm not saying that they're stupid, but I'm just saying like their ability, like, and she's looking at it like, okay, if you can't even deal with your own brother, you like how are you going to deal with Boris Johnson? Like, I expect you guys to keep a straight face. How are you going to make it and protect my father's life's work? This is how I feel she's speaking. My father's life's work by being diplomatic with people you don't like, with people who piss you off, with people who are trying to destroy you behind the scenes, and you and them know it, and they're smiling in the public's eye and things like that. And you can't even handle this with your own brother whom you love. Like, how are you supposed to take care of what my father built with his own two hands? And I know that the monarchy was around, but I'm just speaking like from the queen's point of view, you know. So she feels like, there would be a distancing, and then the popularity will go down. There's a mastery and a finesse that you have to do with these people while still holding on to power, because this is a very vulnerable um, position here. So I'm trying. So yeah, she's looking at that and really seeing their inexperience. And oh, I think she is a little bit disappointed. She knows that the kind of togetherness actually that Meghan actually brings. I know y'all are gonna be like, she's just trying to show favoritism. Meghan. Oh my god. Um, but I think she also has Meghan in mind, too, as a young mother, and what she has gone through, and really having time to sort of process the difficulties. She also acknowledges Meghan's strength, because you're in your own emotions. I think she's looking at it as well. Like, she may have had one difficult pregnancy, the queen. You would never know it though, honey. You would never, ever, ever know. Um, and she understands like the draw on your emotions from the pregnancy and stuff. And she just looks at everything that Meghan has been through while being a new mother, and really respects that. So it shows here. Like, please, if you have a problem with this, I can't have you fucking haters like up in my reading like this already. You're not even here. If you have a problem with this video, don't bother to put the thumbs down. I mean, if you're going to, you're going to, but don't bother. Just leave. Just leave, because I'm over you. Okay? I'm over you people. right? Over you. You don't like the girl, it's okay. Nobody's trying to force you to like her. Don't go around. Ugh, God, anyway. So, I just feel like Megan like is looking at the queen kind of sideways anyway, or at least the queen feels that as well. And she misses the camaraderie. Like, there's a certain calm and positivity that Meghan, Harry, the baby bring that others like literally don't have. Let's talk about what does William and Kate bring to the queen. Oh my Lord. Like that is so heavy. I really feel like she feels like Kate is like exacerbates the issue because I feel like she feels William is already kind of like not here, and the situation with Kate is even worse. And then the situation with their marriage is also causing issues as well. And right now, kind of in a way, seems to be under control. But it was a lot easier, it's so weird. It was like a lot easier when Harry was single and it was a lot easier within their relationship because he was there. He was so disposable to them, and I just feel like they think he should still be that way. He was so disposable to them. Like, we need you over here, come over here, do this. And I don't mean it like that, but like energetically is kind of like that. But he was always like a third wheel hanging out with them. And now he has his own life and his own life and his own child and his own obligations, as a man, and his own, really his own path and destiny to really come home to. So let's see what's going on. I really think that Kate would be trying to have another baby right now, but it's not necessarily working. I think those two are sleeping apart. I don't think that William is entertaining this. I think that Kate knows that he's also kind of dealing with someone new, but it's in the real friend stage, so it's hard to kind of pinpoint. But before it was kind of getting a little more serious, and I think, maybe this other woman, because I think I remember as well, like she's got some integrity, this other woman. So she might have kind of put a barrier between herself and William to a certain extent. But they are friends. But there's so much more, and she's kind of like a commoner. And if she does run kind of in those circles, but she might be like, some kind of um somebody who runs in those circles, but somebody who doesn't have a title, or if they do, it's kind of like, much more low ranking. And so, yeah, but I do think he makes himself vulnerable. He needs to be careful. William needs to be careful. So, I actually have to go for real. I said I was gonna be somewhere in 5 minutes, and now I'm gonna be late because I have to do the extended reading, and I lost time. I went way over in this, but yeah, I'm gonna go over to the extended reading. I'll talk more about this over there. I'll talk more about William, this new person. We're going to talk a little bit more about Kate as well. We're going to talk a little bit more about Meghan and the Queen. We're going to talk some more about Harry. And I'll see you then. Thank you, guys. Bye.